Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am not big into slogans, other than my bumper sticker that is "Energy is good," and I think I'm ready for another bumper sticker slogan, and that is "Hydro is back." I like that one, so I'm all over it, and look forward to working with you on these initiatives that I think are so important to us. I have long been a hydropower proponent. I consider hydropower to be our hardest working renewable resource, one that often gets overlooked, as you have noted. But I don't think that there's any question that our largest source of renewable electricity is and must continue to be part of our energy solution. So how do we make that happen? I do think that what we're seeing today here in this committee is just a perfect example of how we do move hydropower through. We've got good, broad, bipartisan, and bicameral support for the two hydropower measures that we have before us today. The Hydropower Improvement Act, which is my legislation to advance conventional hydropower, has been co-sponsored by you, Mr. Chairman, which I appreciate, but also Senators Risch, Senator Cantwell, Senator Udall, all members of the committee, as well as Senators Begich, Bennett, Crapo, and Murray. The companion bill, which Representative McMorris-Rogers will speak to this morning, has already passed, and as you note, Mr. Chairman, when you have a vote that is that overwhelming, 422 to nothing, that gets your attention. It certainly got our attention here on this side of the Congress, and how we figure out ways to move it, I think, is going to be important. This legislation is supported by the National Hydropower Association, American Rivers, a host of other organizations. The other measures that you have mentioned, Mr. Chairman, S306, sponsored by Senators Barrasso and Risch, HR 678, that is sponsored by Representative Tipton. You've already spoke to that, but when we look to the support that we have from the stakeholders for these various measures. We've got the American Public Power Association, the Family Farm Alliance, the Oregon Water Resources Congress, the Colorado River Energy Distributors Association. I think all good measures of the broad support that we have there. And as with hydropower, I continue to believe that efficiency is part of the all-of-the-above energy plan. We need to be doing more of it more often, and I credit the good work of Senator Shaheen and Senator Portman in this area. Again, I think when we're talking about efficiency, this is a bottom line issue, an area where it's really in our best interest to find agreement, particularly as we deal with these very difficult budgetary and fiscal constraints that we have. So the work that Senators Portman and Shaheen have done with the Energy Savings and Industrial Competitiveness Act is good. And again, when you look to the supporters of this legislation, some 200 different organizations, a wide range of efficiency advocates and manufacturers. I know that both senators have been working very aggressively to garner that support, and I think that that will hold them in good stead as we move this legislation through. Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure whether it will be the hydropower package or whether it will be the energy efficiency package, but my prediction, and I usually don't make predictions on legislation around this body, but that one of these two measures will be signed by the President, and I'd like to be there with members of this committee as we recognize the advancements that we are making in good areas as it relates to efficiency and renewables with hydro. So look forward to that day, but it starts here.